All right, y'all, check it out. Here's what we got. So I'm gonna shoot us a group. We are full fill all the way up, 250 bar, and we are going to shoot us a group first, just to the left of that first target out there at 40. We're going to use these 25.4 grain JSB pellets here. Full power adjustment here, and full fill. We're ready to go. And I'm going to go ahead and just pop us a group right here at the top. Let's do this. I'm going to start from the left side of our paper and then work to the right, because I want to shoot us a group with these 25 3.9s, these H&N Hornets, and these Predator Polymags. Now, with this first group here, I'm going to shoot. We have the baffles inside here, which is what's going to quiet it down. Hopefully we don't get a bunch of highway traffic noise, and you all can hear the pop from this thing. So we're going to keep it quiet on this one. Alright, that was a pretty quick shot group there, but not a bad shot group. Definitely not a bad shot group. So now, I'm going to remove the barrel shroud up here on the front. Now you all to take a full look at this little system here. So don't panic if you dump it out and you don't know which way it goes. The first thing you have is this plastic sleeve here. Then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of these baffles here, these aluminum stamped baffles. And you have this crimp washer here, this pressure washer. And as well, this cap unthreads from the end, and that's, I believe that Dyne EFL makes an adapter for this. So if you want to stick you a half inch, by half by 20 moderator, threaded moderator or muzzle brake or what have you on into this, I believe they have an adapter for that. So I'm going to remove these now. I'm going to replace this back here, and we're going to just, and also I want to talk to you about this. Yesterday I came out, and the first thing I was shooting, like I said, were the H&N Hornets. And when I got out here and I was shooting the H&N Hornets, they were shooting a fantastic group. And this morning I got up and I went and I picked the rifle up, and it was shaking. There was a lot of noise in it, and I was like, oh, something loose shaking all around in here. What is this, And all I did was took a quick rattle at it, realized that I had noticed that there was some rattling coming from underneath this barrel shroud. When I took it apart, I actually found several of these brass tips had broken apart and had removed themselves. I'm sorry, not removed themselves. Let me not sound silly here. They had they separated from the lead, and I'm not sure how these are done. If I assume that they're actually probably just pressed into there or something of the sort. Maybe they're actually swaged, cast around this brass tip. I'm not really sure how they're put together, but they were coming apart, and what they were doing, where they were actually just beating up the insides of some of these little baffles, and just on the end of the cap here had nailed just the inside of the cap with one of these brass tips. So I'm gonna, as well, for purposes of avoiding hopefully any clipping, we're gonna remove these for this part, and you'll get a little bit of a listen at how loud it is with it off. So here we go. I'm gonna go up right above this last group we made here, and we're gonna make us another group. Well, I can promise you this, we're not going to shoot a group if we don't have any pellets in here. So that generally tends to help things out. That thing was screaming. I don't know if you heard that, but that was moving up there. I believe that was the last one there. Yep. Alright. That's going to be our next go about there with the H&N Hornets. And just in case anybody's curious where we're at with oh, you hear that? that's one of them right there. See? Looky here. Just so you can see what I'm talking about. There's that brass tip from the H&N Hornet, and I'm not sure why that's happening, but I can tell you that kind of defeats the purpose of flinging these brass tip guys out there when they're very clearly not staying connected. So that kind of sucks. Anyhow, pressure. So we are right at, I mean guys, we're just right there at 3,000 psi, so right at 200 bar. Some good use of air in there. Alright, well, though we lost most of the, probably most, I'd imagine that a lot of these brass tips are just disconnecting from the pellet here when they're in flight. I'm not sure if it's the recoil. I kind of think that what's happening is they're wiggling loose once they come through this part of the magazine, that when all that recoil from that semi-automatic action is coming back, and it's actually hitting this magazine, rattling it so hard because there is space in there, that they're flinging the brass tip right out of the end of it in there. So there's something to be cautious of there if you're interested in trying to shoot some H&N Hornets. And I'll be honest with you on this too. This is no BS, guys. This is my first time trying to Predator polymags out in this pistol here, so I have absolutely no idea what it's going to do. I don't know if it's going to cycle. I don't know if these are a bit longer. Actually, let's see. These are a bit tighter in the magazine, lengthwise. They don't really have a whole lot of room, so it's a pretty long projectile in general for 25, but it's just fitting in there. All right, here we go. We're good and ready for our next magazine. So this is magazine number 3, and we are just going to move over just to the right into that next little target section here, the next quadrant of this target. Shoot this group here. These are the Predator polymags. All right. Yep, still not going to work for me. Let's see where it's going to put us at for pressure, and let's see if I shake this and I hear any. I think we're good. I don't believe any of the polymer tips anyways have dislodged. Let's see, we are at good. We are sitting at maybe like 20, let's see, 2600 psi, somewhere right in there. So still shoot another magazine if we'd like to, not a problem. I'm actually a little interested now in how those polymags were shooting out there. Not too terribly bad. Still, all of them making a fairly good group. So anyways, that's without the baffles here for your moderator. And in case you're wondering what they look like inside, they just stack like this. And if you have absolutely no idea how it works, as the pellet travels through here, the air that is traveling behind the projectile expands as it leaves through the opening here. It expands inside of here, and as it keeps going, the air is expanding continuously into these ports, each one of these baffles, which is allowing a slower dispersion of the air. It allows the air to come out much slower out of the end, which makes for much quieter, obviously. The difference between blowing like and blowing like, you know. Anyway, so let's go take a look at these groups real quick. Actually, we'll just walk right on down there now. So just hang tight. Try to get you guys off of the top of my head, off of my tripod here. So where was I at here? Shooting polymags. Things. I forget things. I'm getting older, short-term memory loss. Plus things I've done when I was younger probably didn't help much any. Anyway, so here we are. We got 40 yards. Make sure we're still rolling here. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and walk you through this here so you can check this out. This is a group right here with our JSB 25.4. We're just aiming right here, 25.4, and it seems like they were kind of walking. A few of them look like they wanted to stack right here, but for the most part, it kind of had a walking group, which can kind of tell you a lot about the pellet too, how it's reacting with the barrel and the gun and the harmonics. These are the H&N Hornets here shooting. Like I said, I mean, that's even here at 40 yards, that's pretty impressive at 40. You got, you know, 2 little flyers here and what have you. That's not bad. Could be me from pulling the semi-automatic action, just kind of shooting off of the whim there. And this here is our group with our Predator polymag. So still not a bad group right here. You know, at 40 yards, that's 10 shots right there out of that magazine now. And be in mind as well that as we shot these, we started on a full fill here and we just kept shooting our magazines. So as air pressure changes, so does the dynamic and the harmonics and the BC and everything that works with your pellets and your projectiles. It's all going to change up because you're not starting from the same fill. So if we were to maybe come down and shoot our group with our H&N Hornets at a full fill, or maybe if we were to shoot this group here when it was, you know, 3 magazines down, maybe it tightens up. You know, you really got to look for that shot curve and see what's going on. And the only way to really do that is to get out and do a whole lot of shooting. Anyway, so there you go for a little bit of accuracy. And, you know, we could shoot it out there to 55. We could keep going. But I think that kind of gives you a little bit of the point there. And we will, this is my personal piece here that I purchased. So I'm going to do more videos on this. So, we, you know, we'll be out here slinging lead at, you know, whatever long distances. Actually, I kid you guys not, last night I went down there and I made a shot out at 95 yards with this thing on the second shot, and I hit a 3-inch balloon that I had blown up down there at 95 yards just on the second shot. So it is capable. It is capable. I wouldn't say it's really a 100-yard piece, but it does pretty good. And you can see right here at 40 yards, even out at 55, you'd be doing pretty good for yourself. Anyways, I got some really interesting targets that we're going to shoot here. I got to switch this GoPro battery out. I know this is a long video here, but we're going to keep it rolling. I got to switch this GoPro battery out and get the air rifle aired back up and all that good hootenanny. And what we're going to do is I'm going to come out here and I got some really interesting targets we're going to shoot. So hang with me. All right, so we're going to start out light and then we're going to work our way up. And you're probably wondering, so I'll tell you. I've decided to shoot the Predator polymags. Alright, let's lay waste to this coconut here. Alright, how about that? Alright, let's shoot some more stuff. Alright, how about an old non-working Bose Bluetooth speaker? Huh. Well, don't you just love when you catch a great failure on the red tip just barely even stuck in there. Let's try this again. Maybe we had a slight malfunction there. Still at about 330. We're still at about 3,400 psi. Let's give it a shot again. See what happens. Well, it worked that time. All right, shoot some more stuff. Well, actually, here, let's take a look at this real quick. Oh, it didn't go through. They're bulging. Just made a mess. All right, let's try 2 old Nook tablets that sat in a box for so long that they practically disintegrated, something like that. Anyways, we're gonna shoot them once I take safety off. All right. Well, unfortunately, it just couldn't handle that. Man, that was really cool, guys. Take a look at that. In, didn't come out. Check that out. That's pretty cool right there for some target stuff there. Once in a lifetime, you just won't really get to shoot these things very much. Try again. Right. Cool stuff. Nope, still not working. Let's take a look at this real quick. Oh, I have mercy, I'm about to kill myself over here, tripping over stuff. As long as I'm not throwing a $600 gun on the ground, that's all right with me. There's our first one, and making a big mess for myself out here, but look, you can see it hit the battery pack, bulged the battery pack, bulged on that side. Didn't go through, but that's still really cool. I like shooting anything that kind of has reactive glass look to it like that. Again, they didn't go through, but they tore it up. What else I got out here to shoot? Oh yeah, that's right. I got one more thing. I got one more thing to shoot up back over here. I have to go get it real quick and probably re-air this gun up, but I got one more thing we can shoot. All right, last part here, and saved the best for last. Filled back up, 250 bar. Gonna be shooting some more of these Predator poly mags here, and I'm not sure if you see what I see. All right, and there you have it, guys. That there is the AEA HP SS Plus and 25 caliber, rocking some 26 grain Predator poly mags, topped with our sniper 3-12. Out here making some kaboomy, making some mess, having a real good time doing it. And let me get you all set down right here. So maybe I can share my last bit with you here. Again, you know, that is one thing too, real quick, that I will just say as well. I would have really liked to have seen the folding stock have some kind of mechanism that would lock this in, so that it doesn't just flop around. Aside from that, well, you've seen it all for yourself, folks. It's semi-automatic. It's a lot of fun. It can be loud, it can be quiet, it can be pretty powerful. I think we were pushing up there at 40 foot-pounds of energy, so 40 foot-pounds out of a 10-inch barrel with all the goodies that this has going for it. I'd say I'm fairly impressed, to be honest with you, with this AEA HP. Now, keep in mind, we've had a few hiccups along the way. It's no big deal. Also, before I completely forget, let's just say theoretically you're in this situation, because I watched quite a few videos and I didn't see anything about this whatsoever. But with the way that this gun works is that when there is no magazine in this, you're supposed to be able to just pull that there trigger, and that will let you know, as well as trying to put in a safety does not engage, that there's no magazine, there's nothing to worry about, there's no cycling to be done whatsoever. But then you say, well, how can I enjoy that, with that being the situation, when I want to be able to just keep my magazine in there, right? So let's say theoretically this is a full magazine, and now you've racked it and there's one live round in there and it's ready to fire. If you want to be able to keep this thing with the magazine in it, I can tell you what to do here, and it's not going to harm the pistol whatsoever. All it's going to do is stop that air that comes back through that gas tube, well, which kind of like work like a gas tube anyways, like off of AR. When that excess gas comes back to blow that back, it blows through a hole, which forces that striker back to lock up and engage, so that you have your next shot ready to go. So if you want to avoid that, all you got to do is just drop it in there. You can see that we are on fire. We are able to fire because of that safety. You can always kind of tell there. So if you put it on fire, and you bear in mind this thing will be loaded, it will have a live round in it. But if you did want to keep it bedside or something of the sort, or keep it, put in your truck, or at your grandma's house, put in her dresser, or whatever the heck you're keeping all your stuff at, and you just want to keep it loaded up, jump outside and go shoot some squirrels, or like me, jump on a pack of these, you know, these crows, these flock of crows come flying in, and you just really want to shoot a few of them because they get extremely noisy when you get 30 crows flying around your house all the time. You make sure you keep in mind that's completely loaded. What you want to do is you want to just grab your thumb real firm over the top of that. Get a grip on this anywhere that you can, or if you can just hold it down, that's fine. But grab it with your thumb, point the rifle in a very safe direction, and fire at one time. The projectile is going to come out at the end of that barrel now, okay? But what's going to happen is now the magazine is left in there and you're back on safe. You're good to go. So when it comes time, if you want to just jump up and you want to grab it, all you got to do is just rack it back and it's ready to go. So hold. That just keeps that bolt from actuating all the way back, keep that action from going. So there you have it, guys. That's just my little take here on the AEA HP Plus pistol, 25 caliber. Get some chronograph numbers for you, a little bit of accuracy, a little bit of fun out here shooting some different things. I hope you all enjoy it. Hey, if you like this one, give it a thumbs up if you would. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. And as always, we'll see you next time. Pew, pew.